Θα ήθελα να σας παρουσιάσω τον κύριο Πιέρ Σονίγκο, Γενικό Διευθυντή της ΦΕΡΜΑ. Η ΦΕΡΜΑ είναι το Federation of European Risk Management Associations, είναι η Ευρωπαϊκή Εποπτική Αρχή ουσιαστικά, και θα μας μιλήσει... Ναι. Θα μας μιλήσει για διάφορα θέματα όπως Solvency 2, την IMD Directive και τα υπόλοιπα. Mr. Sonigo, welcome to our conference. You are live on the speakers.
Well, thank you very much. Good morning. I am very pleased and honored to be here as a speaker today through the advances of technology. I'm here in my office in Paris, and it's wonderful that I can speak to you in Athens. As you mentioned, I am the General Secretary of FERMA, but prior to that, I was the risk manager of a large company, French company called Péchinet, involved in aluminum, and we had a very, very large factory, an aluminum smelter in the northern part of Greece near Aspasia, and on the northern coast of the Corinthia Gulf. And that gave me a lot of occasions to come to Greece and to work with Greek insurers and brokers. What I would like to do this morning is quickly introduce you to FERMA and what is FERMA and what are really the concerns of the European risk managers today with regards to the European legislation. FERMA was created almost 40 years ago as a federation of national association of risk managers. 6 of them decided that it was not enough to have an association at the national level, and that it was very important to regroup themselves at a European level. Today, after almost 40 years, we have 22 national associations of risk managers located in 20 different countries. Unfortunately, there is not one yet in Greece, but we would be very pleased if we can get one in Greece. We represent about 5,000 insurance buyers in the industry, service, and public sectors. So we consider ourselves to be the voice of the insurance managers and risk managers throughout Europe. We have 2 main objectives. The first one is to promote the use of risk management and insurance European countries. And the second one is to be considered at the European level as a major stakeholder in order to be able to influence the new legislation which regards insurance and the management of risks such as environmental liability or the risk governance, the way risk management is being handled in companies. In order to do that, we do many actions. So we write position paper, we write technical papers, we participate in hearings at the European Commission. We have regular contacts with European members of European parliaments. Therefore, we do considerable lobbying in order to get the points across of what the European risk manager want with regard to the new regulation and the new insurance regulation. What I would like to do this morning is give you 3 examples where I think we've been very active and we consider to be important to us. The first one will be Solvency 2. Second one will be related to the intermediation directive. And the third one would be the changes expected in the core insurance aspects of the placement of large risk. On Solvency 2, obviously this is a major piece of legislation which has been going on for many years. You will have this afternoon an important communication on this subject. The way Solvency 2 is impacting FERMA members has been considered in 2 different ways. The first one was a lot of our members have captive insurance companies, which are insurance companies is to cover risks that they are working in, and limited very little or no third-party business. We wanted to have a special treatment for captive insurance companies within Solvency II because we considered the risks involved with smaller than the risks and with other insurance companies. They belong to the financial group which owns the captive and cover the risk of the same financial group. So we've had about 2 years of lobbying with the European Commission so that captives can receive a special treatment within Solvency II. And we've been able, at least on the Pillar 1, which is the first part of the Solvency II, we've been able to get that special treatment. We are now working on the Pillar 2, which is the risk management and governance aspect of those companies, as well as on Pillar 3, which is the communication of which are required for those companies. And we try every time to have a special treatment for those companies. The second of Solvency II concern is the impact of
Just a moment. We can't hear you. Just a moment. Can you say again the IMD? Can you repeat? We can't hear you.
You can't hear me? Okay. Well, I was speaking the second aspect of Solvency II, which are concerned to the risk manager, which is the impact that this new regulation will have on insurance. We believe and we know that because of this legislation, the requirement in capital will increase insurance buyer.
I'm sorry again. Can you step a little back? I think you're too close to the microphone. Yes, okay. Let's see if we can get it this time. If you speak a little more slowly. Thank you.
Okay, so, the impact I was speaking about, the impact of Solvency II on the insurance market, and the fact that we expect increase in premiums between 30 and 40% because of the new regulation. Already seen insurers claiming that this new regulation will increase. So we about that. We are going to discuss later about that and see how we can minimize these. Second subject that I would is regarding the directive. The insurance mediation deals with
I am sorry, Mr. Sorino, but it seems that there is a problem with our internet connection. Could we have a short recess to see if we can fix the problem with the internet and have you in 10 minutes?
Okay, you can call me back.
Thank you very much. Θα περάσουμε ξανά στον κύριο Σονίγκο, ο οποίος να πούμε ότι είναι ο εκπρόσωπος της Ευρωπαϊκής Ομοσπονδίας Ενώσεων Διαχειριστών Κινδύνου, οι μεγάλοι πελάτες σας δηλαδή, και ζητούμε συγγνώμη για το τεχνικό πρόβλημα. Mr. Sonigo, you can catch from where you left with the IMD directive.
Okay, very good. I apologize for this technical problem. I was speaking about the IMD directive. The IMD directive is very important because it regulates in particular, the transparency of remuneration of intermediaries in the sale of insurance products. In the first version of the IMD, there was an exemption for the large risks, which meant that it's mostly the mass risk where there should be a clear indication by the intermediary of a remuneration that he has on an insurance policy. FERMA has signed with the BIPAR being the European Association of Insurance Brokers, a protocol in 2010 where we request transparency on remuneration, not so much on upfront commission, but mostly on contingent commission that intermediaries are receiving. The basis of this protocol is that brokers agree to provide this information upon request of a risk manager. And we felt that this was a good step in the right direction regarding transparency of remuneration. What we are looking in the new draft of the Insurance Mediation Directive is why are large risks excluded from that directive? And also a very important issue, what is the definition of a large risk? Because the directive provides a very disturbing definition, because it provides at least two definitions. And we consider that those definitions are for not very large risk. SMEs are mostly concerned with that. And although we can understand why, if there is a risk manager in a large company which can negotiate with his brokers, he can obtain a clear indication or even negotiate fees and obtain a clear indication of a remuneration of a broker. Although we consider that SMEs are not really professional insurance buyers, and they cannot get this information, which they, in our opinion, are entitled to. So this is an issue which is still being debated. This directive has been proposed by the European Commission to the Parliament, and we are doing some negotiation with the Parliament. The third step, which are concerned to us, is the block exemption of pools and co-insurance aspect in our business. What DG Competition is very concerned with the fact that a leader on insurance company rate and the wording to all the co-insurers on that policies, and therefore they believe that there is no proper competition between insurers and that there is an agreement of all insurers to cover one risk by sharing information, by sharing statistical information, and by sharing policy wording. So they consider this to be non-competitive. We, of course, we are in a different opinion. We consider that this is the way the insurance market has been working, and this is the only solution to provide the capacity that we need to cover the large risks which we have. So we have had an action with the European Commission to get this across. The European Commission has mandated Ernst & Young to conduct a thorough study with insurers, brokers, and risk managers to come up with what does the market want. And this study has been conducted this summer, and we will get the results hopefully before the year end, and hopefully the system of co-insurance will continue to be the one which we consider to be the most effective and continue to exist. So these are examples that FERMA is working right now. I will conclude by saying that we are also very interested in the development of risk management. Every 2 years, we conduct a European survey among our members to clearly define what are the trends in large companies regarding the handling of risks, and also the second aspect, what are trends regarding the buying of insurance. This survey, which is conducted with Ernst & Young, we will give a report in a seminar which will be held in Versailles, near Paris, in 2 weeks' time. And you are all welcome, and at least the risk managers are welcome to attend. And they can connect to our website, and it's free of charge. We will be to welcome you. So, short presentation, what is FERMA and what are the main subjects that we are working on. So if we have some time, we're open for questions.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sonigo. Υπάρχουν κάποιες ερωτήσεις ίσως για τον κύριο Σονίγκο, ίσως από ανθρώπους οι οποίοι ασφαλίζουν μεγάλες επιχειρήσεις, όπως ο κύριος Μακρόπουλος, δεν ξέρω. Αν δεν υπάρχουν, there is no question, Mr. Sonigo. Thank you, very explicit. We will have you have you write an article on our magazine so we can explain this in depth about how it pertains to the Greek insurance market. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much for inviting me.
All the
Thank
best.
you.
Bye.
Goodbye. Goodbye.